Why are Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds pretending they're skipping the Met Gala tonight instead of just acknowledging they weren't invited?
Blake Lively is reportedly spiraling after being subtly snubbed from the 2025 Met Gala.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't attend the Met Gala. Were they rejected from it?
Sources claim she wasn't just busy, she was officially blacklisted.
Or they just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal.
From the plantation wedding backlash to a resurfaced blackface skit and fake family anecdotes, her glamorous facade crumbled fast. Justin Baldoni's charity couldn't even survive her drama.
Sad news, Justin Baldoni's foundation is shutting down.
Blake Lively wants us to believe she chose to skip the Met Gala this year. Girls, stop. It's not even funny anymore, it's just desperate. According to TMZ, Us Weekly, and People, that whole "we're not attending this year" narrative was pushed out back in March 21st, 2024 to be exact.
Blake and Ryan won't be at tonight's Met Gala. The couple's plans were revealed in March by multiple outlets, including TMZ. On March 21st, a source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not surprising, saying she's not a Kardashian that goes every year.
You know, just early enough for her PR team to pre-spin the snub before it turned into public humiliation. They didn't even bother with a real reason, just vague, fluffy nonsense like scheduling conflicts or they're just not going this year. Really? For someone who's practically drooled over every red carpet moment for a decade, we're supposed to believe you just randomly decided to skip the biggest night in fashion. Please.
Saying Blake and Ryan haven't gone since 2022 when they were co-chairs, and they will not be in attendance this year.
Let's not play dumb. This is the second year in a row Blake and Ryan Reynolds ghosted the Met Gala. 2 years back to back. That's not absence, that's exile. And let's not forget, this woman literally co-chaired the event in 2022.
She's obsessed with the Met Gala, she's obsessed with being seen. You know she wants to go.
But now she's gone. Poof. Like she was never part of the carpet royalty she once worshipped. Nah, you don't go from being handpicked by Anna Wintour to suddenly just staying home with the kids, unless something behind the scenes went very, very wrong.
They're just saying that they're not going. Okay? They don't give a reason. It's just random. They're not going. This woman who loves fashion, who, whether you like her fashion or not, I think it's abhorrent.
And let's talk about that theme, shall we? The 2024 Met Gala's theme was all about superfine tailoring, black style, a celebration of black dandyism, legacy, fashion influence. You know, Zassim-level stuff rooted in culture, history, and actual social relevance. Not antebellum cosplay and plantation aesthetics.
She got this Time Magazine Civil Rights Titan Award and all of that. We know the woman has done blackface. We know the woman got married on plantation. We know she only got the Time Magazine thing because she donated money to the NAACP 6 years ago.
The second that theme dropped, anyone with a brain knew Blake Lively wasn't about to be front and center, not after the mountain of PR disasters she stacked up like it's a sport. Her showing up would have been a contradiction dressed in couture.
And why? Why do you have to make up stories like that? I just don't get it.
Now let's go back to where the mess began, Blake Lively's wedding in September 2012. And no, it wasn't just any wedding. It was a full-on Southern plantation wedding, not some random backyard in Georgia either. This was an actual, real-life plantation.
Or they just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal. But there also could be another side plot, with the speculation and the opinion that maybe they were not welcomed.
You know, where enslaved people were tortured, abused, and killed. But sure, let's just call it rustic elegance. And she really thought a few filters and Pinterest boards could make us forget. She even had the nerve to call it a romantic backdrop. Girl, it was a crime scene. But here's the twist. After getting dragged for romanticizing slavery, did Blake reflect or apologize? Nope. She did what every fake woke celeb does. She threw money at the problem. So she donated to the NAACP. And what did she get? A Time 100 Civil Rights Titan Award. Let that sink in. A woman who once ran a blog called Preserve, where she posted antebellum-themed muffin recipes, is now a symbol of progress. I'm sorry, is the bar really that low?
I am calling out hypocrisy amongst the powerful people in Hollywood. She's not talking about women in power. She is protecting women in power. And instead, she is going after women just like herself who's trying to make a living from being creators here online.
And we're not even done. Remember her unforgettable performance on SNL? Of course you don't, because the skit where she played a caricature of a ratchet black woman has been wiped from every platform under copyright claims. People still try to repost that clip, but YouTube blocks it like it's some kind of national secret.
I could see, what's her name that runs the thing, who's the
Anna
designer?
Wintour?
I could see Anna Wintour being like, Blake, you are not coming this year. There's no way.
Thankfully, nothing truly dies on the internet, and that mess is still floating around on other platforms. And trust me, it's just as cringe now as it was then. The exaggerated accent, the twerking, the cheap wig, it was Blake Lively at her absolute most performative and insulting. So yeah, showing up to a gala themed around black style after doing all that, not a good look.
Tailoring, black style, celebration of black dandyism, and the influence of black style in the fashion industry. History. So, her blueberry slave muffins, her wedding at a plantation, I can imagine why they wouldn't go.
That wasn't going to happen, and the Met Gala's organizers knew it. They saw the plantation history, they saw the racial mockery, they saw the Fox activism timeline, and they quietly locked the doors before she could RSVP. Because imagine the press fallout if she actually tried to spin that into another Blake's learning and growing moment.
Close to the couple says the choice to pass in this year's gala came before the lawsuit, has nothing to do with it, and for what it's worth, Blake and Ryan aren't shying away from public appearances.
But here's where it gets extra embarrassing. According to Popcorn Planet's Andy Signor, insiders are now whispering the truth out loud. Blake and Ryan weren't invited at all. From co-chairing in 2022 to ghosted in 2024? That's a fall from grace, and not just any kind of ghosting. The kind where Anna Wintour, the literal gatekeeper of the Met Gala, is rumored to have flat out said, no, thank you. When Wintour ices you out, there's no comeback. That's fashion exile.
I think we can prove they weren't invited. I mean, really? I don't think this is the year. Finally. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, maybe it was her reps.
What makes it even worse is how obvious the PR cover-up has been. Every entertainment reporter who's not on Blake's payroll could smell the damage control from a mile away. The official explanation reeked of desperation. It was all too polished, too rehearsed, like her team was sitting in a crisis Zoom, muttering, okay, what's the least humiliating way to spin being blacklisted?
Definitely their absence was noted.
I think we can prove they weren't invited. I mean, really? I don't think this is the year.
Meanwhile, actual stars, and by actual, I mean relevant and not problematic, showed up and nailed the theme. Coleman Domingo killed it, Zaw Ashton was iconic, but where was Blake? Oh right, she was busy posting carefully curated off-duty mom selfies and pretending like she wasn't foaming at the mouth watching from home. The woman lives for attention. You think she skipped the Met Gala because of a scheduling conflict? Please, that's like saying the Kardashians skipped it for a yoga retreat.
They just did all, we know. They've been everywhere. She's not a Kardashian that goes every year, is what she previously... It sounds like a lot of defense.
And let's not forget the internet's favorite kind of karma, memes. Someone made an AI-generated image of Blake in full plantation blueberry couture, complete with a muffin tray and awkward smile. And the sad part is how many people believed it was real.
It's kind of crazy how this could actually be something she might wear.
That's how deeply her branding has failed. When people think a spoof photo of you serving slavery-themed pastries could actually be something you wore to the Met Gala, it's over. The parody becomes plausible, and the fashion queen becomes a cautionary tale.
And of course she brought a tray of blueberry slavery muffins for everyone to have, because she just wants to romanticize that deep South history of how the blues came from and where it came from, and the blueberries from the blues.
So don't let the fluffy headlines fool you. This wasn't a peaceful step back or a private decision. This was a shutdown, a locked door moment, a hard pass from fashion's elite. No matter how many fake smiles or staged paparazzi shots Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds put out, the message from the Met Gala was loud and clear. You don't get to wear the culture you once mocked.
She's done it. She's done it. And now she's out there like, oh, I'm learning so much and thank you, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, cram it.
Blake Lively appeared on Seth Meyers and for some reason decided to rewrite the Gregorian calendar for PR points. She stared straight into the camera and casually announced that one of her daughters was born on the same day as Napoleon Bonaparte and Jennifer Lawrence. August 15th, of course. Because why not?
They lied and said that their daughter Betty was born on August 15th on Seth Meyers, and then that's what Blake Lively said. And then Ryan Reynolds said that Betty was born also on August 15th in a Variety interview. I just did those videos. It's deranged.
Why not add a little historical grandeur to your already overly curated image, right? Nothing says relatable mom like awkwardly bonding your toddler to an 18th century French military dictator. But here's the problem. None of her kids are born on August 15th. Not one. Internet sleuths like Elsie and Melanie King did what Blake clearly didn't expect. They Googled. Wild concept, I know.
Do your daughters ever criticize your outfits?
Oh, yeah. No, one of my daughters has the same birthday as Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence. So if you imagine like those two blended.
A few moments later.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Turns out, James was born on December 16th, Inns on September 30th, Betty on October 4th, and baby number 4 on February 12th. Not a Napoleon or Jennifer Lawrence birthday in sight. So why lie? What's the point?
Past or the present, and sat up there and said that her daughter's birthday was the same as Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence. Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence were born on August 15th. All right?
To sound quirky, to shoehorn a forced funny mom moment into a talk show appearance, or maybe she just wanted to sound more interesting than she is. You know, because making up birth dates is a perfectly normal response to fading relevance.
Woman is absolutely deranged. She decided to go on Seth Meyers, knowing that all these eyes and ears on her, knowing that everyone is going through everything she's ever said and done with a fine-tooth comb, whether it's in the past or the present.
And let's not forget her beloved husband, Ryan Reynolds, who, bless his scripted charm, doubled down on the lie during a Variety actor-on-actor interview. He went all in with the Napoleon reference like it was some quirky inside joke instead of a blatant, unnecessary fabrication. These two treat interviews like improv class. Just riff something, smile a lot, and hope no one checks the facts.
Two narcissists, delusional people.
Except we did, and the receipts don't lie. But apparently, Blake does, and often. She even admitted it in an old Glamour interview. She literally said, "Ryan just makes things up. I don't even correct him." So we're supposed to laugh about it like, haha, they're such a goofy couple, lying about literal facts. No, Blake, that's not cute. That's not relatable. That's weird, and it's not subtle either. Throughout 2023 and 2024, the cycle became obvious. Blake gets dragged for something, plantation wedding, PR lies, SNL sketch, take your pick, and suddenly she's on a magazine cover talking about the strength of motherhood, or launching some campaign tied to feminism. Light buzzwords, usually right before a product drop or a movie promo.
To do all that, it would have been like Ryan Reynolds promoting Black Panther after getting married at a plantation wedding, which he rightfully called out for. It just would have looked very tone deaf and stupid.
She has literally monetized every inch of her existence. Red carpets, branded interviews, scripted moments, even the trauma she hints at, wrapped in high fashion and dropped on your feed like a Vogue-sponsored PSA. And while smaller creators, especially women, are penalized for speaking up, Blake keeps smiling through the noise, cashing in on the chaos she created.
Blake and Ryan were no-shows at the Met Gala. Now, this is an event they've been to a lot. They weren't there last year. She was editing the movie, It Ends With Us, stealing it from Justin, Grasps. But now they didn't show up, and they have reasons.
Blake Lively's sequel to A Simple Favor bombed, and not just with critics. While she paraded through promo events in designer gowns, her co-producer Justin Baldoni quietly watched their charity collapse under legal fees from their ongoing lawsuit. Blake dodged court dates, ducked out of the Met Gala, and pretended everything was fine, right as receipts resurfaced, including that cringeworthy 2016 Woody Allen interview. Now the internet's turning on her, former allies are backing away, and the red carpet can't cover the cracks. So what's the moral here? PR only works until the public starts asking questions, and Blake's answers are wearing thin. Subscribe for more no-fluff Hollywood breakdowns. Let us know in the comments, are you buying the Blake Lively comeback? Thanks you for watching.
I would assume that there would be a lot of fittings, there would be a lot of things she'd need to do with designers to get ready, both her and Ryan, to be able to be a part of this event. And they have been very busy traveling all over the place for the promo of Another Simple Favor. So I'm guessing that if there is truth to they decided not to go, it may have been because schedules were too busy.